Good morning, students. Welcome to Ashok Ragate classes. Today we are going to continue the 10th class chemistry part, chapter 2, chemical equations. In last class, we discussed about the changes, physical change and chemical change. In this video, we are going to we are going to know about how to identify a chemical change. Okay, by observing what factors we can say that that is a chemical change. Okay, so we are going to perform a chemical activity. Okay, activity 1, preparation of lime water. Preparation of lime water. Activity. Preparation of lime water. Lime water. Preparation of lime water. Okay, in this activity we are taking two chemicals. One is quicklime. Quicklime. The formula of quicklime is CaO. Ca for calcium, O for oxygen. So, what is the chemical name? Calcium oxide. We are taking 2 grams of quicklime powder. So, in daily life, we will do well wash. So, for that purpose, we will add some powder. What is the name of the powder? That is nothing but quicklime powder, calcium oxide. In Telugu, it is sunnam powder. Okay. So in Telugu, it is sunnam powder. Okay. So first of all, we will add some powder to water and thoroughly will mix it, and then we'll apply the wall. So that is nothing but the preparation of a lime water here. Here, quicklime, calcium oxide we are taking and adding to a test tube. Which contains water. What is the chemical formula of water? H2O. Okay, I am taking one test tube. So that is in that I am pouring some water and adding this calcium oxide to the test tube, and I am thoroughly stirring the combination calcium oxide and water. So now, what is the reaction between these two substances? What is that? Quicklime plus water. Quicklime plus water means, what is the formula of quicklime? CaO, calcium oxide, plus water formula is H2O. That gives rise to CaOH twice, calcium hydroxide plus some heat. Okay, so now once take some water into your test tube and add few grams of calcium oxide to this and thoroughly stir it. So now observe touch the bottom of the test tube. What you observe, if you touch the bottom of the test tube, you will notice that the bottom is hot. You will sense some warmness. The bottom is becoming hot, and it is. What is the reason for this? Whenever calcium oxide reacting with water, some calcium hydroxide is produced. With that, so in this reaction, some heat is also liberating. So these type of reactions, whenever heat is liberating, heat generally indicated with Q. So in this reaction, temperature is liberating. Na? So this reaction is known as exothermic reaction. In a reaction, if a temperature is liberated or if temperature is released, that type of reactions are known as exothermic reactions. exothermic reaction. Just like exit means going out. In the same way, from the reaction, it is coming out. Okay, so that is nothing but exothermic reaction. So whenever you are adding calcium oxide to the water, you will get a colorless solution. This solution is a colorless solution. Colorless solution. Okay, so this is nothing but the colorless solution. So this is nothing but lime water. This is nothing but lime water. So CaOH twice is a colorless solution, that is called as a lime water. Understood? Here now we are going to test the nature of this lime water. Nature of this produce lime water. Behavior means here whether it is acidic or basic. How to test the substance whether it is acidic in nature or basic in nature? By using litmus paper. Okay, I am taking a red litmus paper. Red litmus paper. I am taking red litmus paper and I am dropping into this solution. I am taking red litmus paper and I am dropping into this solution. So if the red litmus paper is turning into blue color, then it will be then it is a base. It is a basic in nature. Means it is a lime water is a base. So here red litmus paper is turning into blue means that is a base. So if it is not turning into blue means it is acidic in nature. Okay, understood, ma? Here already we know the clue. AB. If acid will change the blue litmus. But what about base? Base will change the color of red litmus. That's only here going on. So red litmus, you are dipping red litmus paper into the lime water, and that is changing into blue color. So what is the behavior of lime water? It is base. It is a base. Calcium hydroxide is a base. Understood, ma? So this is about preparation of lime water. Understood, ma? Okay, lime water preparation is a exothermic reaction. It is a exothermic reaction. In this case, whenever calcium oxide is mixed with water, okay, so calcium hydroxide is coming out as a producing with some heat also liberated. If you touch the bottom of the test tube, you will sense some heat. It becomes hot. Okay, it becomes hot, or you may sense some warmness. So that is nothing but it is a exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction is a reaction in which the temperature is released. That type of reactions are known as exothermic reactions. Okay, students. In this video, we are going to do one more activity. So that is a reaction between sodium sulfate and barium chloride. Okay, activity 2. Activity. Reaction between Na2SO4 and BaCl2. We studied about preparation of lime water. So in preparation of lime water is a chemical reaction. Okay, so in chemical reaction there is a chance of producing a new substance, and in that reaction there is a chance of liberation of temperature. That's only we discussed in last video. Yes or no? Preparation of lime water says about it is a chemical reaction, and there is a chance that there will be new substances will be produced in a chemical reaction. 1 point. Okay, and next point is, so the temperature may release from the reaction. Okay, so now second activity, reaction between sodium sulfate and BaCl2. Okay, we will check what changes we may observe in this activity. For that purpose, I am taking two test tubes. Two test tubes. Two test tubes, and both are halfly filled with water. Both are halfly filled with water. What is the formula for water? H2O. So both are halfly filled with water. Now I am adding sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate. What is the formula of sodium sulfate? Sodium sulfate formula is Na2SO4. Na2SO4. Remember the chemical formula of chemical compounds. Sir, see here, sodium sulfate. I am adding a little bit of sodium sulfate to the test tube 1, Na2SO4. Okay, and I'm preparing, I'm stirring thoroughly. I'm stirring thoroughly and preparing the solution of Na2SO4. What is the solution now? It is Na2SO4 solution. In the same way, I'm adding BaCl2 to the second test tube, which contains water. Okay, so again I am preparing the BaCl2 solution. BaCl2 solution. I am taking one more test tube. Okay, so that is the third test tube. First, I am going to pour Na2SO4 to this solution, to this test tube. Na2SO4 already I poured in it. Next, I am going to take the BaCl2 test tube and pouring some BaCl2 to this one. BaCl2 to this one. So what changes you will observe? You will observe one, white color new substance is forming. White color new substance. Here I am mentioning it black color. White color new substance is forming, and that substance is not soluble in the available solution. Here it is a insoluble substance. Whenever BaCl2 and Na2SO4 are mixing, so you are getting a substance which is in solid state and not dissolving in the available solution. So what it will be called as? It is called as a precipitate. Precipitate, and the color of the precipitate is in white color. If you know, see here, Na2SO4 solution is colorless solution and BaCl2 is a colorless solution. Whenever these two are mixing, they are undergoing a chemical reaction, and they are forming some precipitate, which is nothing but barium sulfate, Let us see what reaction is going on here. So Na2SO4 sodium sulfate plus barium chloride are reacting with one another, okay, and producing BaSO4 barium sulfate plus NaCl. Here, if these both substances are present in the same test tube, okay, so here insoluble substance is there now, that is nothing but a precipitate. Okay, understood now? Here, this reaction, okay, we observe that in chemical reaction there is a chance of forming a precipitate. Precipitate is a substance which is insoluble in a liquid. Okay, precipitate is an insoluble substance in a liquid, in a available liquid. Precipitate is a substance which is insoluble in solution, is known as a precipitate. From this activity, what we are concluding here, in a chemical reaction, when two substances are undergoing in a chemical reaction, there is a chance of forming new substances. Yes or no? BaSO4 and NaCl both are new substances from its original substances. Yes or no? That is clear. But one more new point is here. What is that? There is a chance of formation of precipitate. There is a chance of formation of precipitate. Okay. So see here, if you balance this one, so 2 NaCl, barium sulfate. So which is a precipitate? Barium sulfate is a precipitate, that is in white color. But initially these two are colorless solutions. The properties of the produced substances are totally unlike to its original substances. Yes or no? That's only we discussed. What is a chemical change? Where the new substances are totally unlike to its original substances. Yes or no? That is. So in this reaction we come to know that there is a chance of producing a precipitate. Activity 3. Reaction between zinc and dilute HCl. Okay. Here in last two activities we come to know that from the first activity what we come to know that new substances may form and heat may liberated. From second activity, that is Na2SO4 with BaCl2, a chance of precipitate formation. Now third activity, what it will say to us, we have to see. Okay, I am taking a conical flask. I am taking a conical flask. I am taking a conical flask and zinc granules. I am taking zinc granules, Zn. Granules means just like a granules, means just like solid pieces. Okay. And dilute HCl. What is meant by dilute? Dilute HCl means here in laboratory purpose we will some cases we will use concentrated. Concentrated means 100% pure acid. Concentrated acid means 100% pure acid. But diluted means some portion, some percentage is water. So here the hydrochloric acid is not 100% pure, and in that some percentage is water. So that is called dilute hydrochloric acid. So I took some zinc granules into conical flask and I am adding dilute HCl to these granules. So after some time, some gas will be liberated from this. Okay, we can't observe. We don't know what gas is liberated in this reaction. Okay, so I am taking a burning matchstick. Okay, I am taking a burning matchstick. I am taking a burning matchstick. Nearer to the neck of the conical flask. So it will burst. It will burst with a pop sound. Giving pop sound is an indication of the gas is hydrogen gas. Giving pop sound is a characteristic of hydrogen gas liberation. Okay, so how to identify a hydrogen gas? If you are taking a matchstick nearer to the evaluation where it is evolving. Okay, so if it is burst with pop sound, burst with pop sound. So that is the indication for hydrogen gas liberation, hydrogen gas liberation. So now let us see what is the reaction between these. Zn, zinc plus dilute HCl, dilute, I am indicating here dilute. So that is producing ZnCl2, ZnCl2 plus hydrogen gas is evolving, hydrogen gas is evolving, hydrogen gas is evolving. See here ma, here zinc granules are going to react with the dilute HCl, that is producing zinc chloride, ZnCl2, zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. Okay, so hydrogen gas property is which will produce pop sound, which will produce pop sound. Okay, from this activity we come to know that in a chemical reaction there is a chance of producing gases, there is a chance of producing gases. Understood or not? So from these three activities we can conclude that in a chemical reaction, by observing whether it is whether the new substances are formed, first point, or whether it is producing some temperature, second point, or it is producing precipitate, and third is it is evolving any gases. By observing these four factors, we can say that the change is a chemical change. By observing new substances are formed, temperature is liberated or taken, and third is formation of precipitation, and last one is evaluation of gas. By observing these four factors, we can say that the change is a chemical change. Okay, understood? Chemical change. In exams, you may get a question like this. How can you say that the change is a chemical change? What is the meaning of this question? How do you say that? By observing what factors, you will say it is definitely a chemical change. By observing four factors. First one is the new substances are formed or not. The new substances formed. The new substances formed. By observing if the new substances are formed means it is definitely a chemical change. Second point, temperature. By observing temperature means exo means which will liberate the temperature, endo means which will need the temperature to carry out the chemical reaction. So by observing the temperature changes, exo and endothermic. Okay, if the reaction is taking some temperature or liberating some temperature, we can say that it is a chemical change. And third point is precipitate formation. Precipitate formation. If the reaction is forming any insoluble substance, that is nothing but precipitate. If it is forming precipitate, that is a chemical change. And the last one is any gases are liberated. Any gases are liberated. Okay, any gases are coming from the reaction or producing from the reaction, we can say that it is a chemical change. One more important point you have to think here, remember here, we said four characteristics. There is no rule all characteristics should present in same chemical reaction. Any of these may present, all of these also present, but there is no rule all should present in same. Just like a preparation of calcium hydroxide or lime water, what we observed, there are two changes. New substances are formed, that is one characteristic, and it is a liberating temperature. Only two are there. In the same way, in second activity, Na2SO4 BaCl2, that is forming precipitate, and last activity, that is producing gases. Understood, ma'am? I think you understood well. So by observing these four factors, we can say that the change is a chemical change. Okay, students. I hope you understood well. If you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe it and like and share with your friends. Thanks for watching. Thank you.